Good morning and welcome back to Plannercraft. I'm Natalie and I'm going to be taking you through the third part of our Armoir gift box. Get the words out. So, morning Mum. I'll just wait for a few more people to join before I get started. So I have got a slight technical issue with the close cam up in the top right corner. So you will notice when I start talking it's going to lag slightly, but I can't do anything about it. The cable is dying. So yet another new cable to get. Yay! I don't have to kill them. Okay. Morning Thea on YouTube. Just wait for a few more people to join. Hi Tracy, and thank you for sharing. So I can't see numbers of viewers at the moment because I've got Streamlabs open, so I'll see how we go. So I'm going to start today using some Lime Tree Craft card in Anthracite Grey, and I think I'm going to go grey and pink with mine. So I'm working with 300 GSM card. And one of the things I would say with your design is that you're going to need to use double-sided card. So let's get the first sheet out. I've saved all the individual elements to a USB stick to save having to keep going backwards and forwards to the computer. And I'm just going to quickly grab an import and do my mat. So, as regular viewers will know, I don't tend to keep my protective sheet on my mat. So it's a case of just go over the top with a lint roller. Nice easy way of getting them back clean. And pop on my card. So I'm working with the All Pieces SVG that I've then grouped into the individual elements and save those as separate FCM files. I've set my score lines to draw so I can choose whether I'm going to put those onto my card or not. And let's get the machine turned on, if it feels like it. Come on. There we go. It's only a rumour that I hadn't switched it on at the wall. Thank you, Tracy. So yes, this is part 3. So when you do this first initial judder, you want to make sure that there's no blade in your carriage and go OK. So that's particularly important on the CM machines, not quite so much on the DX. Next I'm going to load my mat. And it's getting to the time where I need to consider getting a new one in. Hi Verna, don't worry about being late. That's what we're here for, so you can always catch up and go back if you need to. Which on the 2 previous streams where we've done some computer work, you'll find it really handy to be able to pause on occasion. And I hope you found it all okay Verna and you've managed to do it. So I'm going to grab my pencil just so I can reach a bit easier. And I'm going to go to retrieve data, and this time because I've saved it to USB, I'm going to use my USB button. I'm going to go down, down, and I've put them all in one folder so it's nice and easy to find them. So we can see that we have our base, our card, and if I scroll down you can see we've got our 2 drawers. And finally, our mechanism. Hi Deb, don't worry about being late. So I'm going to do my base first, because that's the one you're going to want to really see how I put it together. Okay, we can get OK, and that's going to pop that onto our mat. I'm going to get OK, And let's think. I think I might just draw it first, just to make life a little bit easier. Or shall I? Actually, nope. Nope, I'm going to be brave and go without it. So let's go to cut. And the actual design itself is pretty basic. So I'm going to pop in my standard blade. And I have my speed at 9 at the moment. So there's an awful lot of perforations if you actually cut all your score lines. So the other day when I was doing my mock-up, I had it at 9 to go ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. But now that it's just going around that outside, we can slow it back down a bit. So I'll take it down to about 3. And let's go for it. Yep, you can use Illustrator to do this project, so okay. So I'm going to grab a little printout that I did of my project so that I can see which way my score lines are going so that I can emboss them in the right direction. So that's a really useful thing to have. Okay. So you don't have much that's left on that particular piece of card, so you can just chuck the remnants away. I know we're terrible for storing offcuts, so I'm trying to be a bit better at it. I had a big sort out the other day of my offcut box. So there we go. So while I'm here and I'm thinking, just because I know my mat is misbehaving at the moment, I'm going to cut my other pieces. Just because it's misbehaving. If yours is behaving nicely, then you can just do your score lines and build it a piece at a time. So I'm going to go OK, Home, OK to delete all patterns, Retrieve, back to the USB, back down to our Armoir folder, and this time I'm going to add in my card. Go OK. That's going to have that grouped, hopefully. There we go. So I can drag that down to the bottom corner. I'm going to go Add. Oh, try that again. Add, Retrieve Data, Force of Habit. Down and down again. So I've done my card. Now I need to, let's put the mechanism on that one too. Okay. And again, that'll be grouped so we can move that over like so. And we can always use our space saving functions on our machine once we've got all the pieces that we want on a mat, so that we save as much card as possible. So back to Add, Retrieve, USB, and this time we're going to put in a drawer. So remember, we need 4 of our half drawers, and 3 full draws. So let's go for some half draws first. Okay, so that's going to bring in our first grouped draw. Now if we go to Edit, Object Edit, Duplicate, we can now set our number. So we know we need 4 of those. Okay, okay, okay. Now if we go to our little space saver one, we can go like so. Just going to think about it. There we go. So we've got them all nested. Ah, hi Linda. So I'm going to go okay. And I might just get a full draw in that too. So let's try and fit that in. So back to our USB. And I'm going to drag that down to that corner. So we're going to struggle to get in another one, I think, but let's just see if it can. So if we type to rearrange everything, and let's see if we can get it all to nest a little bit better. So the different options restrict whether it can rotate the shape, whether it's looking at something in terms of tessellation and things like that. So we could probably fit in at least one more full draw. So I'm going to go OK, click on my full draw, Edit, Object Edit, Duplicate, one more, so we're going to go up to 2. Bring that down to that bottom corner. Now it's just a little overlapping. So let's see if the machine can work it out. No, it can't. Let's try that option. No. That's going to make it think. No. Okay. So at least then we know that we're getting as much out of that card as possible. So we'll delete that extra one. Go OK. OK. And we're going to cut those out. Has anybody seen Carol this week? You on lunch? He's doing alright. I think I missed one score line to stop it cutting, but hey ho, it'll be fine. We were just wondering what's happened to Carol. What, the new page? I don't know.
It's actually has to show between the notification because it only goes to the new page. That's possible.
Okay. Carefully lift that off. There we go. So you got lots of little fine bits on that one. So I'm just going to chop into that so I can just get rid of most of the waste. And we can always save it for reinforcement panels if we need any. So we still need to do 2 more full draws and then all our pieces will be cut. So one more piece of card. Yes, you have that exact same function on the CM. It's just in a slightly different place. Okay. So I'm going to go back home to reset, so that's wiping everything that's on my mat, and then I can just go back to retrieve data, go down to our Armoir folder, down to our full draw, OK, edit, object edit, number 2, OK. Then we can pop that one, put it in the top left, and that one by the side of it. Go OK, OK again, and cut. So again, apologies for the quality of the image in the top right. We do have a cable that is not so slowly dying on us. Okay. And I'll do the same, just trim off the waste bits. And keep the rest for any panels that we need to make. Okay, so that's all our pieces cut. So for now, I can unload my mat, remove a blade, and give myself a little space to work in. So today I'm going to focus on assembling the box, and then tomorrow we can concentrate on decorating it. So move off all the pieces except for my main piece here. Let's get this the right way around. Let's go that way. And I'm going to grab my scoreboard. And bow folder and embossing tool. Hello! Everything right? Okay. So for starters, I'm going to use my 6-inch line. I'm going to line up through the points like so. Yeah, the other one's not set up properly, so I just flick onto the other view, but okay. I need to do a little bit of trimming on this too, just because I managed to pick up one of the lines I shouldn't do when I was setting up my draw lines. Okay. Oops. What do you want, Ian? Okay. There we go. And next bit along. One more just on that edge there. That's all the ones that way, so now I can rotate it round. So when you're doing your scoring, it's basically joining dots to dots. Let's see if I can switch it off on here. Oh, now this could be interesting. Yes, the camera. There we go. There you go. So hopefully that's a bit better. Okay. Oh, nearly. There's always one, isn't there, that you miss. Let's just get that one there. And that one there. Yep. So now that I'm here, I can check that everything's where it needs to be. I just need to cut down this line here. And that's my fault. So you shouldn't have the same issue. The easiest challenge, I have to say. Something with me light. Okay. Let's try that again this way. Now I can see what I'm doing. So with our folding, if we start sort of, hang on, yeah, start that way around. It's because of the extra glue tabs from it. There we go. So we're going to do valleys first, which are all the red ones. So I don't know if you can quite make that out on there. So you can see some score lines are red, some are blue. So Ian's been on a early shift this week, so it means timing's a bit odd for us. So I'm going to burnish each of my folds to make life a little bit easier when it comes to actually assembling. And we're going to fold this one up, and the next one we're going to go up this way. So now we have our bottom tier like so. So therefore it makes sense that these bits need to fold this way. Like so. And then we're back to bring it over and going the other way. Okay, so I'm going to flip it that way and make sure that we have everything going round properly. So that's going to go like that. Looking good so far. So back to folding this way. So when it comes to sticking this together, you're going to be wanting to use a wet glue, like a good strong PVA or bookbinding glue, something that's got a good bit of strength to it, isn't too wet. So you're also going to want to use a little bit of red tape. So now that we've done that, we can check the next one. That's going to tuck in there like so. And if you get to this point you're thinking, oh, that's okay, but it's going to collapse easily. It's okay, once you stick it all, it's going to be fine. So this next one's going to tuck in that way. Okay. And like so. And that's actually going to be a glue tab in itself, just because of how we had to fit it into our 12x12. So that's the one you're going to want to really pay attention to how we stick it together. So I'm just going to fold those two, and then we can go this way, increase that. It's one of those projects where you just want to take your time, burnish everything, so that you get a nice crisp fold. And we're nearly there. Nearly. So there's our diagram this way up. Then we can check that we've got that bit right, so that's tucking away. So all the rest should be lifting up from this side. So we can do that nice and easily, keeping this nice and flat now. So this is going to be the other part of that same glue tab. If you're working with a larger cutter, then obviously you don't need to do that bit in quite the same way. But most cutters are kind of limited to 12x12, so it's a good kind of basis to work from. So while I teach scan and cut, I'm also aware that, you know, other cutters are available. Hi Tracy. Why did you set up the score lines on computer if you're scoring by hand? Okay, so score lines on computer. One thing you can do if you're not certain about having a guide like this, if you haven't got a printer for instance, then you can actually set it up that you can draw with an erasable pen with your machine. If you want to put an embossing tool in your machine, you can use that to score your lines instead of going through it and doing it how I've done it on the Hoogie board. If you're working with particularly thick cards, so I'm talking about 350, 400 and upwards, then you can actually cut your score lines to actually make it easier to get that card to fold without getting too much of a bump. So you're kind of almost breaking the fibres. And hi Linda. Okay. So now just want to pop all of those together and check that everything is where it should be. So that is right, that is right, that is right. That one needs to just pop down there. So you just need to decide on that one which way it's joining together. And Trouble's back again. Hello. So, to make your life easier, if you're going to use red tape, actually do the sort of dotting technique on top of your tape as well, so you've still got a bit of wiggle room. But what double-sided tape does help you to do is not have to hold things together while it sticks for quite so long. So I'm just going to use a little bit of double-sided. So going back to score lines, it's also time in terms of what we're doing today. There we go. So we've got our first set of tape on. And I'm going to use my little pokey tool. Take the backings off. This is always the fun bit. There we go. Today the light seems very dark in here. It's not particularly dark outside either. Hello Jean. Okay. So, now for our first bit. And you'll probably get glued at some point, but don't worry about it too much. I'm going to go for this first tab so that we can make sure that we get it into the back piece. So if you look where this bit is here, you want to make sure that it tucks in nice and neatly. You can always peel off the PVA later. There we go. And I'm just going to give it a little press. It's one of those occasions where if you've got a knitting needle or something long and thickish that you can actually press against, and it's a good one to get in there. A razor or something like that. Okay. Now I'm going to in the next tab, and again you're going to want to do it so that it lines up neatly with that corner there, and it's lining up along this side nicely. So I'm just going to give that a little press. And you can always come back and add a bit more glue once you've actually completed your structure if you need to. Okay, so there's our base. Next one. So I'm thinking, given that it's a nice grey card, I'm going to decorate it with Nature's Song, which is a Paper Boutique collection, I think, or Paper Tree, one or the other. And that would be a nice project to put in our new starter little video that we need to do. It's on my to-do list, because now that we're coming around to summer, it's about time it changed. So this Sunday actually marks a year of us doing these streams, which is scary how quickly that's come round, really. Okay. So I have a few things planned for next week that are going to be a little bit fun. So there's going to be a little bit of memory keeping next week. There's going to be a little bit of card making. There's going to be some vinyl next week. There's going to be a little bit of a party on Friday. So that's going to have some acetate, vinyl, lots of party themed projects, because I thought that'd be good, because that's the day before my birthday. So I thought it'd be really good to celebrate them both together on that Friday. Okay, so again, I'm going to go with the tab that's nearest our hinge first, so that we can get that lined up with our next piece. So I'm just going to hold my other tab out of the way, make sure that it doesn't try and go too deep in there, so we can try and keep it level. So this back section, depending on your card, you may find that you want to do like an extra panel on there. So if you're creating this in decorative card, just bear that in mind. Okay, so then we can tuck in our next tab. And you can take much more time doing this than I am. Just pay attention to your corners and then line up. Okay, next one. So this is our funky tab next. So I'm going to take my next piece inside, and we can pop on, let's do a little bit of tape as well, just for speed, otherwise I'll be there holding it for a while. Like so. So if you're doing this box on 12 by 24 card, you could just do this tab the same way as the others. It's just because we're stuck on a 12 by 12 that we've done it like this. Let's pop in a bit of glue across my tab, like so. Line it up. You want to get this as smack on as you possibly can, like so. And at least with this one you can get your fingers in there and give it a good press down. So we're nearly there. tape on that one. And a bit of tape on this tab here. So I'm going to do this top tab first, so that we can go into our hinge first, the same way as we have been doing the rest of the box. Okay. I'm going to hold that tab out of the way for a second and line it up into my hinge, take it across my box and get those fingers in there, like so. Wasn't quite in the right place in that back corner. Come on. There we go. One last tab. Now that that's all in, just want to make sure that you try and keep it as square as possible while it's setting. So with our back panel, as I was saying, if you're finding that with the card that you're using you've got a bit of a play in there, then you can just do another panel to go over the top that's going to hold that so it's straight. So I would say use some cereal board or something like that, so you give it a good strong spine, because obviously if you've got drawers in the front and you're pulling on it, the last thing you want is this bit going like that. Okay, so you're going to set that to one side and let that dry. So any questions before I go on to the next bit? Okay, so to save you watching me do lots and lots of drawers, I'll just do a little half one so you can see the process. So first of all, if we fold it from point to point, and we can burnish that down. Like so. Good quality burn folder required here, just for speed. There we go. So remember, we did our double drawer front. So I'm going to fold that over, but what I'm actually going to do is in a minute I'm going to trim it very slightly, and the amount you trim is going to vary by the card that you're using, which is why I didn't do it in the actual file. That's the word I'm looking for, file. Just going to crease that again there, it's a little bit off. And basically you're going to want to trim it so that it comes. Didn't do me scissors. Knew there was something I forgot to do at the weekend. So I'm just going to trim that in there, and then take that down like so. So that's going to give us enough room that our tab can tuck in and we can tuck our card over the top. So to do that again, so you can see, I'm going to snip it. Snip it in that way. Then take a sliver off that way, like so. That bit's going to tuck in anyway, but it's just going to tuck in a little bit easier because we've made that little adjustment. So protect, especially on this edge here, because we've got this fold that's going to crease in here, that it's got to come over the top of. Okay, and just quickly do my glue tabs too. And they're not going to go nicely for me today, are they? No. Let's grab this very quickly. Very, very quickly. As I said, the trouble is with being having an early lunch is it just works out. It's like the wrong time for us all. There we go. So I'm just going to do those quick. So yeah, if you do cut your score lines, that base takes 14 minutes instead of 1. So hence I didn't cut my score lines today. It just takes too long to do it on a live. There we go. And a bit more. So now, before I totally make up my box, you need to decide how you're going to actually attach your brad. So if you've cut your little hole, then you need to put your brad in before you do the next bit. If you've put your little slit in the top for your ribbon loop, you need to put that in before you stick your box together, and so on and so forth. I think I'm going to just when you know something's staring you in the face, but you can't see it for looking. I can't see it for looking today. Oh, punch. Oh, come on, Natty. Oh well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So, and what I will do is just pop this together so you can see how it glues. Just out of interest, did I put it in there? Aha, there we go. That's what I wanted. So what you would do is just take your hole punch and line it up in the middle, or use the circle that you've put in your file. Drop that in there and then pop it brad in there before you continue. So I just happen to have, as you do, a little brad. So I'm going to pop that in there. Oh, it's alive. I'm going to fold back my little legs and my brad like so. So make sure that you keep them nice and horizontal. So then when you do your fold, it's not going to interfere in any way. Then we can glue it together. So I'm going to do my glue tabs first and then do the big one last. So a little bit of glue. I'm just going to press and hold it for a minute. So I'm using Sticks 2 3D PVA, which usually grabs pretty quick. And we can move on to the next one. Like all gone very quiet out there. Have I lost you all yet? Okay. Just going to clean that edge up just because we don't want any glue showing. The other thing to bear in mind is when you're making these drawers is are you planning to put any decorative panels on the front? Because if so, you might want to hold off doing this step until you've actually got your decorative panels in place. So these are all going to look slightly different on mine because I'm going to do a few different ways so you can see how they all work. Okay, so then we have our long flap left, so I'm going to put a nice bit of glue all along that flap like so. I'm going to place my drawer down on the desk so that I can just literally roll that up and over the top like so. And this is going to be where you're going to want to put a little peg on it or something and let it set. So I have, to my right somewhere, some little clips that I keep handy. Let's get my pencil out. There we go. I'm going to pop one just there, like so, and one just like that. There we go. So that's going to hold that in place as it sets. So you use that same technique whether it's for a little half drawer like this or whether it's for a full drawer. So if you want to decorate the panel first, do bear that in mind before you actually assemble your drawers. You can also use an offset to go inside. So if you want to create a literal decorative panel. If you want to create the project bigger, you can use the tiling function that is enabled with the vinyl blade to actually create a tiled version of your net so that you can then work much bigger. Just bear in mind how that's going to work in terms of the overlap. So give yourself enough of an overlap because you can set it in the tiling function how much of an overlap you want. So you want to aim for at least 1 centimetre so that you've got enough area to overlap and stick. Then once you've stuck your net together, then you can assemble the box as normal. Okay, so I think for today I'm going to leave it there so that you can work on your boxes. If there's anything that you would like me to show you this afternoon, do drop it in the group. So that is Scan and Cut and Paper Craft Classes, Courses and Workshops by Planner Craft. If you aren't already in the group, just answer the 3 questions when you join and please tick the little box saying that you agree to the rules. I did have to get rid of quite a few people that had applied to join the group and hadn't answered the questions at all. So if you can do that for me, it just makes my life a little easier. Saves me checking whether you're a genuine crafter or not. Because we do get some that are a bit odd, to say the least. So take care for now, and I will see you tomorrow at 11, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to decorate mine tomorrow. That's great news, Verna, that you're feeling really inspired. That's what I do this for. So hopefully you'll be able to show me at least your base piece by the end of today, even if you haven't made all your drawers, but you may have done your decorative panels. So see how you go. And I will pop up a photo of what I get up to this afternoon. So take care, and I will see you later. Bye.